Welcome back to another episode of From My Perspective. I'm your boy Dion, coming back to you with another episode. Thank you for joining us again. Please like, please subscribe, leave a comment if you will. But I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Captain Hater. Q, how you doing?
Man, what to do, what it is. You already know the best your boy, Mr. Bell. I can't say your name up on this pod. Might have to shoot a mile. What's up, deal?
Hey, nothing much, man. I'm excited. I got a busy weekend, but there's also a busy weekend of sports. And especially with ESPN, the first PLE on ESPN, WrestlePalooza, is here this Saturday. Kind of a little bit of surprised that they're having it on Saturday, but I guess they don't want to compete with the NFL. But this Saturday at 7 p.m., WrestlePalooza is here. Now, before we get into it, I got a question to ask you. I usually always ask you, are you going to watch it live? I'm going to ask you that too. But my first question, how you feel about the name WrestlePalooza? We obviously know that it's coming from the Lollapalooza, the music festival, and WrestlePalooza was a name in I think ECW or ECW pay-per-view back in the past. But how you feel about WrestlePalooza?
Actually, so I like it. I like the name and I like the premise. I want to see what the execution is going to be because WWE's not about making it a yearly event, and that's fine. But as I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about, if it's WrestlePalooza, I'm expecting a day worth of wrestling,
Yeah,
not 5 matches.
yeah,
I won't build around it. I want it. If you gonna call it WrestlePalooza, it needs to be something special.
yeah.
Hell, it need to be a steel cage match or something on this mother. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. Like personally, I actually love the name. I know that the name's been getting some hate. I guess. I mean, WWE had a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire. It don't get no worse than that. I'm sorry. WrestlePalooza, from my perspective, is a great name. I agree. We should get more than 5 matches. I was assuming since they moving to ESPN, they charging to meet these people more, that you get more than 5 matches. We can get maybe 6 or 7, but they're sticking with the 5 match thing.
whoa, you said 5%. Man, it should be 7 or 8. If you gonna call it WrestlePalooza, because that that gives the thought of it's going to be an all day event.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's more than just your typical PLE with that title, with that name. If WrestlePalooza, you feel like you go and get a substantial amount of matches.
Mm-hmm.
Not 5 or 6. You think it's 7 or 8 because it's gonna be an all day situation. It's gonna be a celebration, kind of like you said, like Lollapalooza and stuff like that. That stuff run all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I man, we'll see. But again, it's on ESPN. First one on ESPN. $30 if you don't have some type of cable subscriber, YouTube, Sling TV. You watching it live, Q?
More than likely, yes. More than likely. I say that because it's college football Saturday as well.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of gonna be Louisville come on at 12. So
Mhm.
that'll be out the way. But it's some other interesting games that I kind of want to watch. And this is like I hate about streaming apps. Just give me 1 second to get this off my chest. Captain Hater mode. So with all these streaming apps, I can't with YouTube TV, I can do the multi-view. Well, I can't do the multi-view and include, you know what I'm saying? The stuff I want to watch if I got to go to the app. Now, supposedly ESPN app, you can have multi-view. So if I can, then I'll be like, all right, cool. I can get my college football game on. I can get my wrestling on one side. But I got to log into the ESPN because I do have YouTube TV. So, but with all these streaming apps, like right now, I was watching U of L versus UK. I was watching the FIBA game, the WNBA. I couldn't watch the game on Amazon Prime because I would have had to log out of YouTube TV to
Yeah.
log into Amazon Prime. I don't. I want to. What was wrong with cable? Like, what was wrong with cable? Why we gotta have 15 different streaming apps?
It's ridiculous.
And
That's why when I watch TV, I got my TV here and I got my computer here. Usually, I mean, I only got 2 screens, so I'm usually two sporting events at a time, at the most. But sometimes there'd be a third that I'm trying to take a peek at.
I don't understand what was wrong with cable. What was wrong? people be like, you can watch, you gotta be able to watch all this stuff on the go. I don't.
You know,
Because let's be honest, if I'm out, most of it I'm just checking the score. I might, all right, man, let me, because I could, it sounds like old man get off my line. And I'm okay sounding like that, but I ain't going to wait a pod day talking about this.
yeah.
But
I feel
it's
you.
annoying.
I feel you. It is annoying, but let's go ahead and get into these pick'ems. If you don't know, me and Q, we do confidence points predictions. There's 5 matches. The match you have the most confidence in, you give 5. The match you have the least confidence in, you give 1. I beat Q last time, so I know I just had to put that out there. But we do have some props at the end.
Like, was it necessary?
It was a little necessary, but let's go ahead and get into it. I'm go ahead and start out with what I think and what I will put my next paycheck on is going to be the match of the. Actually, I ain't gonna put my whole paycheck on it. I'll put half of my paycheck on it, but what I think will be the match of the night, and that's Lyra Valkyria versus not Lyra Valkyria. I'm tripping. Stephanie Vakiria versus Io Sky for the women's world heavyweight title. The vacant women's world title was vacant by Naomi. I know you're a big Io Sky fan, but if we rewind a couple months ago, not even a couple months ago, like a couple weeks ago, before Naomi even relinquished the title, you said Stephanie got that in the bag at the next PLE she fights for. You still agree with that?
Yeah, I'm going Stephanie with 5.
Okay.
Hey, look, I love me some Mio, like you said, but I ain't, we already know we know where this is headed. We know where this is going. Also, because EO is going to be she's gonna be in a storyline away from the title with probably with the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea Ripley. So, okay, we're gonna put the title on Stephanie Vancouver. So, I think that's what that question. You said half your paycheck, man. Match of the night. I think I would put 75, 85% of my paycheck on this being the match of the night. Because
Rest of the card.
looking at the rest of the card, like it'd be different if, even though I hated the storyline, Sheamus and Rusev, but you knew they was gonna put on a match.
Yeah.
They don't have that on this card. They got
No.
some good workers, but they ain't. They got some good talkers,
Mm-hmm.
but they ain't. The best, the cream of the crop workers, in from my perspective.
Yeah. I
Besides
agree.
these two young ladies that's gonna be in the title match.
But I'm just gonna go different with you. I wasn't convinced that Stephanie was gonna get it with Naomi as a champion. I feel like they might feel like it's too soon to get Stephanie the title. It might be. I can see them giving to her, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna go with Io Sky and I'm gonna go with Io Sky with 2.
Okay, okay, I respect it. I respect it.
Yep, yep. So let's go ahead and slide to the next match. A decent build. I guess they wanted to bring back the Usos because it's WrestlePalooza, the big tag team. But it's the Usos versus Braun and Braun. I'll go first. Braun and Braun needs a win. Usos can take a loss, specifically Jimmy Uso, and that's who I got taking a pin. But I got Braun and Braun winning this with 3, and Jimmy taking a pin for my prop.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take the Usos with 1.
Mm-mm-mm.
Um, my prop is I say Bronson Reed gonna take the pin. Uh, so they doing this angle where Jay's basically turning in to Roman,
Mm-hmm.
the head of the table situation. It's basically gonna turn Jay heel. Is it really the time to be turning Jay Uso heel?
I feel like he just became a top tier babyface. Personally,
Yes. So
perspective.
why at this time, why would you turn him heel? I don't feel like it's beneficial for him at this time. Now you could tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like it's beneficial at this time to turn Jay Uso heel. But as far as this match, you right. The Bronze need a win. I don't think they're gonna get this win because of the fact it's the first match of the Usos getting back together.
So you think they gotta give it to the Usos just because of that first match back?
Yeah, but the Bronze can't keep losing.
Yeah, they gotta look strong somehow.
They got to they gotta feel like a force. These two big dudes, these two muscular, you know what I'm saying? Behemoths of men. They gonna keep losing matches. I don't think they should, but I think they will.
Well, we'll see. So we are going against each other on two matches. That hey, we usually don't go against each other that many times, but we are now. Next up, the WWE Championship is on the line, and honestly, you look at this card. This is probably the third most talked about match or most looked forward match that most people are looking forward to. Like it is taking a back seat to we'll get to the other two matches, but it's taking a back seat. Drew and Cody, who like how you think people are really even care about this feud? I mean Cody's been gone. I think that's probably the reason.
I was gonna say that's the reason. Cody's gone. Drew I heard battling with Randy Orton on SmackDown instead of the person he's about to go up against. Hell, we didn't talk about it, but the women's match, it just basically was announced that that's who was gonna be.
Yep.
It ain't really been no build between them two until this past week. But
Yeah.
this Drew, don't get me wrong, Drew's carrying it the best he can, but how it's kind of hard to carry a feud with yourself. And the other person ain't even heard doing video vignettes or whatnot. He doing it all himself. Him and Randy Orton.
Yep.
Hell, it should
But,
be a triple threat at this point.
it should, but I'm going with Cody with one. I mean, I kind of don't care about this match. I am going to ask you because we know what match is going to start out the show. I think this match and the other match we're going to talk about has a chance to main event. For your prop bet, do you think this will be the match that main events, or do you think it'll be the other one?
I think this would be the one that the main event.
Okay, even though this is like third fiddle to people.
You gotta put some respect on your world title. And Cody's still Cody.
Okay,
So
yeah, because I mean, if he obviously he's not going on first, you really don't put your world title in the middle of the show
yeah,
somewhere.
nah. Not just because some not just because some storyline is better. Like the next match, like you're talking about, their storyline is better. But you I think those people's here every week.
Yeah.
So it also helps that their storyline is better because those people is here every week. I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes with a 3.
All right.
Just because I don't see them taking the title off Cody, even though I do think at some point, I don't think this is going to be like a one match feud. So I think at some point, Drew's going to take it off Cody.
Okay.
At some point in this feud, it, I think it should be now.
Yeah, I'm cool on the Cody World Title run right now. We got a year plus of it. It's time for some other people to get it, but who knows?
It ain't even not some other people. I think it should be Drew, and it should be Drew now because simple fact, how long y'all gonna keep pushing off Drew being a world champion again?
Yeah, last time we had that man, there was no fans in the stands.
No, Drew's got it. We all been waiting on Drew to get his next world title. I think it should go ahead and be now because, like you said, Cody's all film the movie. You need a fighting champion.
Yep.
Put that belt on Drew and let Drew and Randy go back and forth for a little bit while Cody's away. Then Cody come back. I ain't get my rematch. Boom, we go from there. But yeah, I'm gonna go Cody with a 3,
All
even
right,
though I
Cody.
think Drew should win.
Next match we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I think this is gonna be the main event because simple fact, they've gave this match the bulk of the story. Like this is what they've been focused on. Well, the story focus has been on this match. You got a big comeback. You got a superstar who's having their first match back in over 10 years. We got Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch going against CM Punk and AJ Lee, two married couples going at it. They fighting. But I got Punk and AJ Lee winning. I got 4. AJ Lee is not going to lose her first match back. And I think she's going to actually get the pin against Becky Lynch.
So I'm gonna go the same way, but I'm only going with a 2.
Right?
Even though I think it should be 4, but I just feel like the other people that I got higher, you know what I'm saying? I think these other people going
Yep.
with that higher. I also believe you as well that AJ Lee is going to get the pin because in fact, you're gonna set up the AJ Lee and the Becky Lynch feud.
Yep.
That being said, if you do that, them is two big names fighting for your women's mid core title. You need to make sure Stephanie has a credible opponent. So her story, so that your mid core women's title doesn't outshine your main women's title.
Yep.
You don't want that to
Absolutely
happen.
right.
So you gotta, because it's already outshining the other the SmackDown Women's Championship, the United States
This is
is
shit. Sometimes you forget that's even a thing, man. Shit.
it's outshining both the titles for women on SmackDown. You don't want it to outshine the main on Raw. So make sure Stephanie gets somebody that she can compete with.
Yeah.
I don't know who that name is, like I said, because I think Rio and Io got their own situation. So I don't know who that name is. But you better if it's somebody like hell, Roxanne Perez, you better give it a storyline to make it worth it. Make it worth it.
Hey, I'll be picking up that phone. Hey, Liv, how's that shoulder? You good? How's that
Ooh,
shoulder? We
ooh,
might need you.
hell, you better be calling Bianca. Hey, I know you over on SmackDown, but you know,
How that finger doing? Is it ready?
what you good? You straight down there? You was at homecoming, NXT homecoming. How was you? You
Yeah,
straight?
but I agree 100%. Because obviously they was already doing a little thing. AJ Lee carrying around the Intercontinental title. It's crazy to think about when AJ Lee was here. I mean, she was the big star, probably the biggest star women's wise at the time. But they didn't have a women's Royal Rumble. They didn't have a women's Money in the Bank. They only have one women's world title. The landscape has changed so much since she's been there. So she has the world at her fingertips as a veteran, pretty much a Hall of Fame level superstar coming back. And she has the opportunity to accomplish a bunch of stuff that she didn't even have the opportunity 10 years ago. So we'll see how they book her. I'm interested. And obviously she signed full time. So we'll see how she plays in the new WWE landscape. But let's go ahead and get to the last match on this card. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. No story. Lesnar just showed up and F5 John Cena. I guess he doesn't like him. Guess he wanted to beat him up one more good time before he gets up out of here. But we one thing we do know is this match is going to start the show. Who you got? John Cena's last match, his last match in Indianapolis. Who you got?
So first, let me say John Cena with four.
Okay.
Um, it's Brock Lesnar is gonna be on SmackDown. Of course, John Cena ain't gonna be there, but Brock Lesnar's gonna come down on SmackDown. All right, man. I mean, that's cool because that does give some type of build. But we going through this. Oh, what? Ain't no real builds.
Yep.
It's because you got a bunch of people who ain't, who ain't there. Like the Usos and the Bronze, they have a build because they was there. Uh, and then the Murray couples, they got a build. But other than that, them is the only two matches with actual builds. John Cena got out there and do his promo, but ain't no interaction because not Braun Burke. Brock Lesnar wasn't there. But I'm going with John Cena before because of the fact I don't think he's gonna lose. You can't close out him losing to Brock Lesnar the way he did. John Cena's gonna lose on this retirement tour. We know that he's not gonna win out. That's not smart business to do. That's also I don't think something John Cena would do. John Cena is not going to win out. He's going to lose. I just don't think it should be the Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, I agree. He should not lose to Brock Lesnar. And I agree 100% with you. He's not gonna lose. I got John Cena and I got all my confidence points. John Cena with 5. I can already tell you how the match is gonna go. They're probably gonna make it similar to that SummerSlam match all those years ago where Brock Lesnar just absolutely dominates him. But instead of Brock Lesnar getting the win, John Cena hits the whole never give up motto, hits him with a attitude adjustment and gets it done. So yep, but that is WrestlePalooza. Before we switch gears, there was a big announcement that happened. Was it this week or late last week? There was a big announcement. WrestleMania is heading to Saudi Arabia. Obviously, this year's WrestleMania is going back to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I guess they just dropped a bag on them to bring it back. But WrestleMania is going back to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia gave them a bag. I'm going to look up how much the bag was, but while I'm looking for that, what is your thoughts on WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia? First time going overseas, and it's not in Europe. It's in Saudi Arabia.
Well, Italy's gonna get a PLE next year too because of the next Netflix deal. They announced that too. So at some point they're going to Italy. Saudi Arabia getting like you said, it's all about money. Hell, the people of TKO talked about how Vince McMahon set his ticket prices so people could bring their families. TKO is out here trying to get to the bag. That's what they doing. I can't be mad at them for wanting to get to the bag. That's what
Mm-hmm.
but at some point, like these streaming services, just like hell, the way of life right now, at some point you gonna price yourself out of your consumer base. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have to lower your prices at some point. Saudi Arabia said, hey, we're gonna give y'all X amount of dollars. We want a WrestleMania. All right, cool. The thing I do not want to happen because the rumor is they was gonna do multiple WrestleManias. Now, do one WrestleMania and we'll call it a day.
I agree with you 100%. Just looking through some of the number figures that was thrown out, I believe Las Vegas paid like 100 mil or something like that to bring WrestleMania back to Las Vegas. Apparently, Saudi Arabia paid $350 million, which is not confirmed. This is a number that was thrown that I saw thrown at $350 million. Also saw $400 million. In other words, if I saw that check hit my table, what time you want me over there? Just what time you want me over there? That's all I uh, plain and simple. What time you want me over there?
I'm gonna say it's that simple. Like, hey, if we talking hundred millions of dollars, it does our whole payroll. All right, yeah, you want us over it? Okay, cool.
We got you. We got you. But I agree. I just want one WrestleMania. I am shocked that the first time they're going to do an overseas WrestleMania is at Saudi Arabia. But when you drop that bag, I'm not shocked. When
I'm
you hear
gonna
the number figures, I'm not shocked because no other country is going to drop that type of money. But Saudi Arabia, they got that type of money to just drop. They must really love themselves some WWE. And I know there was a lot of controversy, especially when they started going over there, especially with it, especially early on. But you see the improvement. The first time they went over there was no women on the card. More and more women's matches got put on the card. Obviously, the women they had to adjust. I mean, you go into a different country, you gotta adjust. They have a certain culture, you gotta adjust to their culture. So the women they adjust to their culture, and so they wear body suits instead of their normal wrestling gear. Which hey, you do what you gotta do. But they got on the card more and more times. They even had a Royal Rumble, a women's battle royal, I believe, over there. If I'm not mistaken, well, they're having the Royal Rumble over there this year. So again, more and more. So you see the improvement. Is it the best thing in the world? No, but if you're a businessman, you can't turn that amount of money down.
no. You gotta go. You gotta like hell like these lower FCS programs do when they play the bigger FBS, the big FBS program. They go get that check to take care of everything else. Going over to Saudi Arabia to get that big check, that one time lump sum or whatnot, for them to host for Saudi Arabia to host WrestleMania is going to pay hell your cameraman and a lot of your wrestlers, all of them for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And then your live shows is taking care of everything else.
Yep.
So I ain't mad at it. It's business.
Yep. It is business, but let's go ahead and shift gears. Uh, What you get? But let's go ahead and end the pod. But thank you guys for joining us for another episode from my perspective. That was WrestlePalooza. Um, I'm your boy Dion. Thank you again. Please like, please subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us who you think is going to be the last person John Cena faces? Because we have no idea. But give us your thoughts. Q, go ahead and take us home.
Hey, you already know the vibes. It's your boy, Mr. Ben, aka say your name on this pod. Might not meet you tomorrow. We get at y'all later.